Hi, in this video I'm going to show you a bit about this ART USB Mix 4. Okay, so this is a mixer you can use at home with your computer. And I'm doing this video just in case one of these shows up at your doorstep and you need to figure out how to use it. Okay, so if you're using it with XLR microphones, the XLR inputs are right here. This is channel 1, and this is channel 2. If you're using it for microphones, you'll notice that each of these has two knobs, and for both of those you'll just want to leave them up. So you can push them in, and if this was on, there'd be a red light there. But for just straight XLR microphones that are passive, you just leave those up. Okay. Now, if you are using a microphone, you'll notice this knob here. This is the gain. So usually for passive microphones, the gain has to be quite high. So went the wrong way there. So something around like that. And then once the gain is there, you can still adjust it with the level. And so in the middle with that gain, you should get a decent signal. But I find that with the XLR microphones I have to pump that up a bit to about there. Right, and this will take two microphones on channel 1 and channel 2. And so that's kind of an overview of how you work the microphones. There's also 3 graphic equalizer, and you can just play around those to adjust the sound if you want. So, and just keep in mind, if we were using a second microphone, we'd also want to up that gain and adjust this level. Okay. Now, just to let you know what some of these other things are in this right here. This is channel 3 and channel 4, and these are for active line level inputs, and so not really good for microphones. You can also put a headset in and a headphone microphone, but that would use channel 1, so we don't want to use that. But you can, if you want to listen to the mix in the board, put a headset right in here. There's an MP3 in, but we don't have to worry about that. This next switch is interesting. The top, if I move that to the top, that gives you channel 1 and 2 only. And then the middle one gives you a mix of all of the channels. And then the bottom one is loop back, and it'll include the computer. Well, we don't need to do that. So either the top 2, but I would just go with the middle one. And the 2 levels under there we don't need to worry about. The only other one that's interesting is if you are using, I'll come on this side. If you are using headphones plugged into this to mix, then you can use this to adjust the headphone level. You want to leave, this is muting things in the monitors, channel 1 and 2, so you want to leave that up. These buttons will give you level, and this is the on-off switch. Okay. Now, if you have headphones that have the big 1/4-inch XLR, you can use that instead of this. Yeah, what else we got here? It's a stereo out and left and right out. That's if you want to have this connected to monitors, so we won't need those either. Okay, so that's kind of the unit, kind of a summary of what's there. So how do we actually use it? Well, the way this works is we're going to plug it into a computer, and it's just going to act like the sound microphone for the computer. So here's USB 2, and so I have a cable here that's got that connector. I'm going to just put that on, and then on the other side is just a standard USB, and I'm just going to plug that into my computer. There we go. Computer was being stubborn. Okay. So then once I have that plugged in, then I would take my XLR from my microphone and stick it in. Now this is a fancy universal connector, but you can see there's 3 little, you can stick a 1/4-inch XLR in there, but there's 3 little grooves where the 3 dots go in, 3 pegs of an XLR plug. And so now the microphone's plugged in there, and I've plugged it into the computer in my USB, and then all you need to do is turn it on. Okay. And then there was a little sound of it being recognized by the computer, which you may or may not have heard. And I'm just going to put this down, and I have this microphone. And remember, here's my settings here, right? So I've got the gain a little over 3/4 up, and my level is up past half. And then I have this microphone here attached to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually switch over to using this microphone, and we'll see how it sounds. Okay, so had a technical glitch there, but I managed to sort it out. So here's what our XLR microphone sounds like through our 4-channel USB mixer. And as I said, if you have a second microphone, that can be plugged in there as well, and then this channel will have both of those microphones.